have some new faces.
When you finish, I did it in my teeth.
So welcome everyone. There's some faces I am familiar with. There's some faces I haven't seen in a long time, but know very well. And there's some new faces that I've never encountered, but I'm hoping that we could be great friends and comrades by the end of this session. So you're in the Women in Progress video call, and the idea behind it was to help women have conversations around transformation in their personal life, uh, in their work life, in their business, and helping them gain skills and also how to make friends. We laugh together, we share stories, we give our truth, and we do some meditation at the end to kind of just help us reflect. And we do a little bit of dancing at the after party. So don't be shy, y'all. We're here to have fun and just to be ourselves. There's no perfect version required here. It's just a safe space. We're learning. We're going to grow together. This is our 4th session. I can't believe it. Our 4th session. We're now in June. It's just mind-blowing where time goes. So, hey! So, hey, gorgeous! I just saw my little baby there. Oh my gosh. She's the youngest member of Women in Progress. She just made history. All are welcome here. All are welcome, you know. So tonight we're talking about leadership because we need leadership from women. Leadership isn't just in the boardroom, but it's also in the homes, in the community, in your business, in your friend circle, social aspects. Leadership is such a strong skill that is needed, and women tend to be just the behind the scenes kind of people. And we'll talk about different styles of leadership, but we're not really trained to be leaders in our respective fields. And I just thought this would be an interesting conversation to have. And amongst us, be able to share experiences, our skill set, and with a little bit of facilitation from me, well, should be able to conclude what makes a good leader, what skills are needed, how we take criticism, how we become flexible as leaders to become a team worker as well, because leadership isn't only about you being at the front, but it's also you being part of the team. So there's lots of interesting aspects we're going to touch today. We're going to go in straight into the housekeeping, and then we're going to start with the welcomes and introductions of all the participants. So these are just some of the rules to keep in mind for tonight, if that's okay. Please participate in discussion. No one here has a silly question. No one here is too shy to be on here in the first place. We're all in the same boat, trying to make the best of this lockdown and to really explore ourselves. This is our time to speak. Some of us haven't spoken to another soul for ages, or week, 2 weeks. So use this time to participate fully. I'll be asking questions. Other participants will be asking questions. Just jump in there and answer questions and just give your feedback, share your stories. Give each other a chance to speak. So if you know you're very confident speaking and you find yourself answering every single question, take a breath and let somebody else find that space to kind of answer a question or make a suggestion or what have you. So give other people a chance to speak. Respect that we're all different. There is so much life and diversity, and spice is the variety of life. So let's celebrate our differences and be respectful of it. Have fun. You know, we're not stuffy here. We're all gonna have a laugh. We're gonna share our experiences. So just have fun with it. Sip your drink, put your slippers on, take your slippers off, whatever makes you happy. Just feel comfortable and have fun. If you want to continue chatting outside of this platform, there's a WhatsApp group. It's in your email that you got with this link. So you can just click the link and join the WhatsApp group to keep the network going. When you're not speaking, I'm going to ask you just to put your microphone on mute. So if everybody right now can put their microphone on mute, I'd be so grateful. I think that's everyone. That's awesome. So when you're speaking, you can obviously unmute yourself before you speak. And then when you finish speaking, just mute yourself back. It just makes it a lot smoother to run the session tonight because we can't see each other when someone's going to talk. So it's easier if you just mute ourselves. Like I said, we're recording right now. If you feel uncomfortable, just take off the video, but stay in the chat. And that is it. That is literally all of the housekeeping done. Has anybody got questions at this time about the housekeeping? No? Going once, going twice, 3 times sold. Okay, that's awesome. So we're going to start off the session with a breathing exercise because a lot of the times our minds are full of what's for dinner, what time you got to put the kids to bed, how your colleague annoyed you at work, or negative thoughts, and it gets really busy. And I really want us to be as present as possible in this session. So we're just going to dedicate 2-3 minutes of self-care where you check in with yourself, check in with your breath. I just want you to close your eyes where possible and make yourself feel comfortable. And we'll start our breathing. I'm just going to give you space to kind of get yourself into the room and kind of guide you through mindfulness. So that looks like engaging your senses, except for your sight, to kind of bring you into the room that you're in and get your mind ready for the discussion and for the sharing. So this is our mindful breathing exercise. We're going to spend 2 minutes here. This is your time. You can turn off your cameras if you want to close your eyes and feel comfortable. Otherwise, you can close it in the camera. And you're just going to start breathing gently. If you're breathing really fast, try and slow it down to a gentle pace. Try to breathe through your nose and then out through your mouth. Let your shoulders go. Your neck is strong enough to support your head. So just let it relax, let your head relax. Let the neck take care of your head. Keep your spine nice and straight as possible if you can. And just enjoy this breathing in and breathing out. This is just your time to get ready to partake in this session. So breathe in for 3 and breathe out for 7. Release the shoulders of tension. Release the eyebrows, any kind of anger in your face. Just release it now. Just listen to your breath. We give thanks for you're alive. You're alive right now. We give thanks that you're here to share this time with us. We give thanks for the energy you're going to bring tonight, the alertness, the love, the healing, the warmth, the laughter that you bring into this group today. This is your time. Breathe in for 3 and out for 7. Just try to relax the body now. If your mind is busy, it's running up and down, it's okay. Just concentrate on your breathing. Don't hold in your belly. We can't see your belly, so it's okay. Just let it hang out. And just fill your whole body with light, with energy, with oxygen. Breathe out. Notice the sounds around you. Is it traffic outside? Is it kids playing? Is it your partner making dinner? Just engage with the sound that's around you, but having your eyes closed. Engage now with your smell. Can you smell your perfume that you wore today? Can you smell the air perfume in your room? Can you smell food? Can you smell your perspiration? Just engage with your smelling sense. Now engage with your touch. Feel the clothes that you're wearing, the fabric. Has it got ridges in it? Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Touch your skin. How does your skin feel? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it moisturized? And lastly, engage with your taste. What can you taste in your mouth? Is it sweet? Is it bitter? Has it got no taste? Is it salty? And just breathe in for 3 and out for 7, 3 times. Release those shoulders. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Return to your normal breathing and just sit here for a couple of seconds in silence. When you're ready, open your eyes and join us back into the space. Who else feels refreshed? Got new energy to go on for the next couple of an hour and a half or nearly hour and a half. Oh, okay. So unmute yourself. If you want to go first, but you can unmute yourself to introduce yourself. Give us your name and what your vision is when you think of the word leader. What vision comes to your mind? So who would like to go first? Keep it very short and brief. Name and what's your vision of a leader?
Hi, my name is Erica, and my vision of what a leader is someone who takes charge, someone who isn't a follower, someone who leads by example, someone who people look up to and people try to be like this person or copy their different ways because, people admire this person because, they can control things. They got everything under control.
That's right.
So that's my definition of a leader.
Thank you, Erica. Who would like to go next? Remember, everyone's got to participate. No one's hiding behind the screen tonight. So who would like to go next? Who would like to go next?
Okay. Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfect.
Hi, my daughter's going to say first and I'll go. Go on, Leo. Okay, fine. Hi, my name's Lorraine. I'm a mum of 2, and they're here hiding.
Hey, girl.
I feel like a leader is somebody who leads by example, who is an example of what they stand for and doesn't just give demands, give expectations that they themselves are not able to meet. I feel like a leader is down in the trenches with their team. They don't dictate, but they delegate. I feel like a leader is somebody who is willing and aware that they need to be able to say sorry when they've made mistakes.
Okay.
And I feel like a leader, being a Christian, I feel like a leader is somebody who is willing to follow in Christ's footsteps.
All right now.
Do you want to say anything? Go on. Okay, don't worry about it.
I do.
We'll come back to her.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Loren. Thank you. Thank you, girls. Who would like to go next? I don't start calling out names, but I might have to if I don't hear people stepping up. Victoria?
I knew it. I just knew it.
Go to the punch then.
So leadership. So leadership to me is like Lorraine. Is it Lorraine?
Lauren. Oh,
Lauren.
Sorry, Loren.
You have to have the most high first, of course. But I see leadership as being able to stand up and say the things that most people want to say but don't have the ability to say because of fears.
Right.
Basically, it's more or less taking charge and taking a stand and being that example. I wouldn't say for others to look up to, but you help bring others out so they can also become leaders.
Like that.
So yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Victoria. Who else do we have on the call? There's a lady with black frame glasses and a red and yellow headscarf. She's been there from the beginning. I don't know her name. Can you make yourself be known, please, sister? What's your name and what's your vision of a leader? Hopefully she can hear me.
I think she can hear you, but I think she's got issues with the audio.
Okay. We'll move on to Patsy. Is Patsy still on the call? Patsy, you there? I think Patsy might be having technical issues. Okay. Hello, sister, the sister of the glasses and the headscarf. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, you can hear me. All right, that's awesome. Do you have audio? If you can unmute yourself, give us your name and what's your vision of a leader. Hi, Deborah. Hi, we met on Instagram. Okay. Yes, it's Deborah. Are you having audio issues? I think she might be having audio issues. Deborah, jump in. Patsy, jump in once you've sorted the audio issues. But I would say that I met Deborah today on Instagram, but I've been following her for some time. So hopefully she'll jump in on the call. Very enthusiastic woman, very passionate about women and the community. So I know she has a lot to say. I'm just hoping her audio is fixed in time for her to really participate in this. Deborah, can you try to say something? I can't hear you.
Can I just say, when you're invited in, it says can the access audio, and I think she'd probably click no.
Ah, okay. Do you want to sign out and then sign back in, Debbie? And this time click allow for the video, for the microphone, please. Thank you, Lauren. I think that's quite a handy tip.
Yeah. Okay. It just said that you have to allow the app to allow your phone to access the audio or something like that.
Right. Let's see if we get Debbie back. We have two Deborahs now. Hello, 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 Debbie. Can you hear us? Audio. The audio. Oh man. Is there if you're using a phone, can you try use a laptop? If you're on a laptop, can you try signing it on a phone? If you're gonna use a phone, you need to download the app that comes with the link. Because I think it's really important to have everybody's voice heard where possible. Okay, so while you sort that out, we're gonna continue. When you get your audio fixed, Debbie, then jump right in and let us know what your vision is of a leader. Right. So I want to say thank you to all the lovely ladies and the young ladies that are in the room, the little ones that are in the room. We give thanks that they're interested and hopefully they'll absorb and that they'll be able to take away something and become little leaders in their school or nursery amongst their friends and just become amazing leaders of the future. So we're always happy to have little ones with us. So we're gonna get straight into it with the voting. So every session we have an after party where we have a dance. We have a little dance. We dance the stress away, and we have a little bit of fun with it. And that's how we end our sessions together. So there are 3 songs we normally have to choose from. Everyone have a vote. There's a little raising hand option. I don't know if you're on your phone, there is 3 little dots on the right corner side. Yeah, that's it. Lauren's got it. If it's on your laptop, you should see in your options to raise your virtual hands. And this is how we're gonna vote. This is how we're gonna do it. Okay. So you're gonna get 1 vote, so use it wisely. Okay, so the first one, and oh yeah, all these songs are linked to the topic that we're talking about, and all by women. So, you know, keeping in the theme and in the spirit of female empowerment. So the first song in the dance poll is Black Girl Army by Jamila Woods. The second one is Energy by Sampa the Great. And the third song choice is Level Up by Sierra. So this is your time to vote. So for Black Girl Army by Jamila Woods, just raise your hands. Is anyone voting for that? Okay, I don't see no votes for her. Okay, let's go to the next one. Energy by Sampha the Great. I don't see any votes. Erica, can you see any votes going on?
No. Maybe everyone wants the last song.
So I'm guessing everyone is going to be after party checking out to Level Up by Sierra. Okay. I'm seeing everybody like, yes. Okay. So DJ E, when it comes to it, please line up the song Level Up by Sierra, because that's the song we voted on to be our after party dance. So I'm excited for that. Okay, now we have the voting out the way. Let's get straight into the conversation about leadership. My first question to everyone is, what is the difference between being bossy or boss and a leader? What's the difference between bossy, boss, and leader? Who will I take the stab at bossy? What does it mean to be bossy? Maybe break it down to the definition, and then we can see the differences. What is bossy?
So to me, bossy means when you're always trying to be in control, telling people what to do, not accountable for what you're supposed to be doing, but you always want to have that dominance over people.
Keyword dominance. Yeah.
Yeah. And always trying to control the situation, really. That's what, when I think of bossy, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think you covered it, because I've got bossy is someone that's fond of giving people orders and being domineering. So you hit it on the nail. Thank you. So if that's bossy, we take away the why, we have boss. What does it mean to be a boss? Oh, Debbie, I think we have you.
I think I'm on.
Hey, welcome.
So sorry.
No,
I'm used
no.
to Zoom. I'm not this one.
Welcome. So happy to have you. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you just quickly introduce yourself, your name,
Yeah.
and your vision of a leader, and then give us a definition of a boss.
Hey, hi, I'm Deborah, but Debbie's fine, a lot better. I don't feel like I'm in trouble. Leader, I would say, is like an influencer of some sort, but you're still supportive of others. You're not selfish with the leadership. Well, that to me is a great leader. You're not sort of keeping it yourself, you're sharing it out to everyone. And a boss, it kind of pass with the same.
Oh,
That's it.
you broke up quite a few times around the boss. Did everybody else hear Debbie? Can you say a bit about the boss bit? Your definition of a boss?
Yeah. Boss, I would say, yeah. Right. For boss, I would say there's a bit of a crossover between the two. But again, it still should be someone that's in control, but at the same time knowing how to manage people, but in a positive way.
Right. I like that. A boss tend to be someone that takes charge or take the lead in an organization or in employment. So that's perfect. It really goes about taking charge, being at the front, and kind of guiding the organization or a team. So that's what a boss is. And what does a leader mean? What does it mean to be a leader? And I'm not asking for skills, whatever. What is the definition of a leader?
For a lead, it has to be someone that knows what they're doing, empower other people. Yeah, to me the major ones off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you very much, Debbie. Victoria?
Yeah.
On the leadership, yeah.
So what is the definition of a leader?
So it goes back to what I said before when I said that basically to lead is to stand up and sorry guys, I'm seriously feeling well. To basically stand up and represent others who aren't confident enough to put themselves on the front line I'd say a leader is more powerful than a boss. Just going back to the boss, a boss delegates. A leader is I don't want to say dictates, but they have more control. They have more order. They have a long-term vision. Bosses kind of overwhelm themselves with, oh, do this, do that, more or less do the jobs that I don't want to do. And I'd say leaders are more respected than bosses, depending on how you are. But the majority, no one really likes their boss. They just put up with them. Whereas a leader, you know, they have a legacy that people jump on and, you know, want to continue and get inspired by. So that's my take.
A lot of what you just said. That is a fantastic definition. I would include, I would say the main difference between a boss and a leader is a leader is able to motivate people into a goal that everyone can work towards to, or a vision everyone can get behind. So a leader is not really about being at the front, but it's about motivating people to, in a common goal, to complete a common goal. And that's why I asked the question, what is the difference then between being bossy, being a boss, and being a leader? Because they're three very different things. And I just want you to spend a couple of seconds thinking, am I bossy? Am I a boss? Or am I a leader? Just have a couple seconds of thinking, and then I'll give it over to Erica. I saw you put your hand up, Erica.
I was gonna make a comment about the other question that you just said about the boss and the leader. And
yeah, well, go for it. What are people thinking? What am I? Honestly, I know they'll be like, oh, I'm a leader, but can you be bossy? Do people just see you as their boss? Like, let's be as authentic and as real in this conversation. So go on, Erica.
All right, I was gonna say, like, someone who is bossy is someone who wants to have their own way, someone who doesn't stop until, you know, what they want, you know, is granted. I feel someone who is a boss is two different terms. I guess it depends on who you're asking. So you have one thing like a boss, someone who's employed by a company, so they follow the strict protocol, they follow the rules.
Right.
But then if you ask somebody else, like, what is a boss? They might say a boss is like, you know, maybe a successful woman who has her own career, you know, or has her own like boutique or whatever, you know what I mean? And she's like, you know, running things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with a leader, I feel someone who like leads by example, someone who, you know, people try to, you know, people look up to, you know? Yeah, that's it.
Well, no, good. I think you summed it up beautifully. So we'll go around the room. We're gonna be honest. Maybe we're more than one thing. That's okay. Sometimes we might be bossy. Other times we might be a leader. That's okay. But I just want us to kind of acknowledge where we are in our personal journey of leadership or being in charge. So if I go clockwise of how I see the screen, I'll come out to Victoria, then Erica, then Loren, then Debbie, then myself.
All right, so me.
Who are you? Let's start with Victoria.
I fit into all categories, and I'm not ashamed. I'm a friend, a mother, and a businesswoman, and a sister, and so forth. And I feel, depending on the situation, you have to ultimately switch the personality around a little bit. So, for example, with my daughter, she would definitely 100% say, "Mommy, you're bossy, but I'm there to teach you. I'm not there to be your friend." I mean, don't get me wrong, I can be your friend at the same time, but that's not my role. So when it comes in terms of the workplace, I take on the leadership role. I don't do the whole boss thing because I prefer to get the best out of my staff. I don't want to, you know, dictate to them and so forth. I'm not that boss that they hate. I add incentives, you know. When it comes to me being like a sister, for example, I have to do a bit of both. I've got to be bossy, but then lead at the same time. Perhaps like my brother, for example, he's not that much younger than me, but he might come to me with a situation and I'm kind of like, well, I need to apply wisdom here because I have the experience. So yeah, your idea kind of isn't really working, and here's the reasons why. So for me personally, in terms of as we go around the room, I think everyone will more or less agree that you kind of fit into each category. So yeah, that's what I think.
Well, let's see how honest we can be with ourselves about our leadership style. Hi, Loren.
Can I just ask what Victoria's business is?
Yeah, of course.
I have quite a few, darling.
She really.
I really do.
Give us your top 5.
So, funeral director, a mentoring. I have a retail vegan store. Yeah, let's go with those 3 at the moment.
Top 3.
Cool.
She's a great speaker. She spoke at our last event around wealth creation. She really knows the stuff about creating different income streams and knowing what your assets are, managing them, making it work for you. She talked about property. Like, she is a gee whiz when it comes to money. My girl do not play. So if you haven't seen that video, go on the YouTube channel and, check her out in action. She was really, really easy. Really easy. So thank you, Loren, for that question. Erica, where do you fit on the scale from boss to leader? Is she gone? Erica, are you with us? All right, maybe she's popped out. Oh, okay, she's here. So where are you on this scale from bossy to boss to leader? Or maybe you're a mixture like Victoria. Oh, unmute yourself.
All right, I'm back.
Awesome.
All right. I would say I'm like Victoria, like I have a mixture. It all depends. I feel like the bossy aspect, if you ask like maybe like, my partner, they might say like I have bossy tendencies sometimes, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm boss. Anyway, yeah. So and then with the leadership, I try to like lead by example. I try to like try to motivate different people to like try to find like the best them, you know what I mean? So maybe try to drop different stuff like, have you tried this or this, but just try to, try to bring different people up. And boss, I'm very ambitious, like where I want to be in life and where I want to go, So yeah, that's where my little boss aspect comes. But yeah, I'm a mixture of all 3.
Okay, so it's good. This is good. Thank you, Loren.
I would have to agree with both women that have spoken so far. I'm all 3 as well. I feel like in my home, I am bossy, very bossy, with my kids and my husband. I also would say that I'm the boss of the house because I decide what we eat, what the kids wear, what my husband wears sometimes. So I've got that kind of dominant figure in my home.
Right, yes.
At work, I'd like to say I'm more of a leader because I like to do everything that my staff are doing. So when I was in a working environment where I was the employee, I would see the people at the top delegating and telling us to do these things that they themselves weren't doing. So I make do every single thing that my staff are told to do. I do it as well, just to show them that I'm capable, so you're capable, and we can do it together and work as a team. I think I'm much more of a leader at work than I am at home. And also at work, I have a lot of respect for my staff. Even though they might do things that I don't like, I'll speak to them respectfully, appropriately, because I know how I want to be spoken to.
Right.
based on this conversation and this dialogue, I think I need to have more leadership qualities in my home, because I don't feel like I lead by example for my kids. So I'll tell my kids, oh, you shouldn't be watching so much TV, but then I'll binge watch TV on a Sunday afternoon, and I'll say, oh, don't eat junk, and then I'll go and get chocolate as well. So I think if I'm leading by example at work, I need to lead by example at home too.
Wow, that is so deep. Thank you so much. That is really deep. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Can you just mention what your business is? Do you have a bit of context for the rest of the ladies?
Okay, so I'm a teacher, but I was working in education for about 10 years and I didn't find it was family friendly. I felt like I wasn't able to have a balance with work and home life at all. And it just got to a point where I was just being disrespected by the senior leadership team. Children didn't care, and it was just getting out of control. So I decided to start an after school club in my local area. So in September 2008, I started it. And then last year I started another one. So I've got 2 after school clubs, and the goal is, the vision is just to be, have a childcare empire, basically.
Yes. Okay. Go on with your bad self. That's amazing. Debbie, where are you on the scale? And if you have a business or you're in some kind of leadership role, let us know as well, so we could have a good context of where you're coming from.
Okay, hi. I work in retail. I would say that I'm more on the leader thing than the boss side of things. But aspiration would be to actually match the two. But that's not possible right now, but we'll see how that goes.
Right.
Yeah, and in the home, well, again, I would like to think a bit of both, but it doesn't always work out.
Sometimes the kids are the boss. they are the boss of the home. Thank you. I think for myself, I would say in relationships, in family relationships, very intimate relationships, I'm quite bossy, or I'm perceived very bossy because I know what I want and I don't apologize for it. And therefore it might be perceived as, being bossy or being very domineering, but I do give space for conversations to be had. But I very, very rare do I find myself indecisive when it comes to my relationships. So to do with family, to do with friends, to do with love, I'm very kind of convicted in certain things. So therefore, I know what I'm asking. I know how I'm gonna facilitate the conversation. And some people find it uncomfortable because they're like, you shouldn't be so bold. But I was like, why not? So I get called bossy, so that's fine. I'll take it. I would say I haven't been anybody's boss per se. If I work for myself or I have a team, so I see myself more of a leader, someone that gets down with the people, find out people's personal motivations for why they join my charity or organization or my projects. And it's from there I build relationship with people. Victoria's worked with me on Mindset Collective. It's a pro-Black project based in London, and we've worked on an event. We've worked on ideas for other projects, for big stuff. And I'm a visionary, so I think that falls under being a leader. Also, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, and I can also pick it up from other people. And I try to work with people with their weaknesses. I think if you're a boss, you kind of just want to get the job done, where I actually enjoy the process of yielding the best out of people. So yeah, bossy from one end, bossy straight to the other end, leadership. In my home, I am seen a bit of the leader. I do try to live by example. But I don't always get it right, and that's okay. I'm human. I make mistakes, and like Lorraine was saying, you got to apologize when you make a mistake, and I do. So this is how I see myself, as and I'm glad that we all picked up that we're not just one thing. Sometimes you have to be bossy to make the executive decision. Other times you are going to be someone's boss because you're either having someone on your payroll, or you're delegating something to them because you need to balance your work life, your family life. And sometimes you're going to be seen as a leader because you're inspiring, you're motivating people, you have a sense of influence, maybe in the workplace or the home or the community or your church or place of worship. So I'm so happy that everyone saw themselves in at least two categories, because no one is perfect at just being a leader. Leadership is a skill that is learned. It's not something you're born with. So thank you for your honesty. I really, really appreciate that. Has anybody got any last comments before I move on to my next question about the qualities of leadership? Okay, we'll move on to what are the qualities that are needed to being a leader? What are the qualities? Let me hear from you, ladies, and then I share a few of my top 6 essential qualities needed. So what qualities do you think you need as a leader?
I'm just going to say one.
Sure, go for it.
The biggest one. And I think it's so big that I can just say it by itself.
Jeez. All right. Easy now.
Patience. That's it. Patience.
And can you give us an example of when you've needed patience as a leader?
When things are going wrong and it feels like the whole world is falling apart and you're the only one to change it. You're the only one who can control the narrative and scream, but you just have to take a deep breath, have some patience, take some time and think about the next step.
Yes, I love that. Patience. Thank you. Patience is the big one because you soon quickly realize you can't control anybody else apart from yourself. You can't control how people execute things. You can't control how people interpret your message. You can't control your customer base. You can't, if you put an event on, you can't control when the artists come. You can strongly suggest, remind, but people are gonna still do what they want to do. You gotta keep patient. There'll be times where you don't get your orders. If you're into retail, sometimes you're gonna have so many problems, hitches, or not problems, challenges along the way that you need patience. So thank you, Lorraine. Yes, patience.
One other thing.
Yeah, go for it.
My husband once said to me, years and years ago, I was doing an event at my school, and my husband said, "Things are gonna go wrong. Things are gonna go wrong today.
Yeah.
You can do about it. Things are gonna go wrong, but it's how you deal with it."
Oh, yeah.
In life, when I go into it, I know things are gonna go wrong that day, but it's not about focusing on what's gone wrong. It's focusing on how am I gonna deal with this.
Right. But come up solutions. Yeah. Thank you very much. Who'd like to go next? What qualities
I would say me.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you hear me? Listening. It's a simple one, but it could be a big one as well, because if you don't listen to what's going on around you and to your clients as well, it could be detrimental in the end to your reputation as well as the company and what it is you're trying to do that particular day or just in the future. So I would say just listening or communication.
Communication, that's very good. And listening is part of communication. Yeah. Can you give us an example or maybe the time you, as a leader, you were able to listen to this team member, a supplier, a customer?
Yeah, I would say basically with my work, we go with seasonal items. So again, the powers that be, the designers decide on what the particular product would look like. But at the end of the day, we're the ones who's actually selling it to the customer on the shop floor. And I think in most occasions, we know from the items that come in for that particular season, we know which ones are going to be the best sellers. Right. But of course, not all the time we're listened to, and orders will be placed for another particular brand or item. Then you still got to sell that item to the customer, but that's not going to be the best brand from the lot that was in for that season. So yeah, with that, I think it's more a communication breakdown, and it could be solved a lot better if we had more internal briefings and things with each other before anything even is decided, you know. And that could be just a simple thing from starting from the very beginning, from the start, when the designers are actually looking at colors and designing the particular item and so forth. So yeah, that's my example.
Well, touching that later on about being flexible, letting people in to your vision. So that's awesome. Thank you for touching on it. Thank you. Victoria?
So I agree with what the ladies have said so far. To add on to that, you have to have an emotional balance and be unbiased. Examples of that is we all have very, very strong opinions, but when you take a leadership role, it's very easy to get emotional and want your views to be heard, but that's not a good way to lead, because at the end of the day, people are looking up to you, and you have to respect that many people are going to have many different opinions, and they all want their opinions to be put across to the audience.
That's right.
This also ties in with not being emotional, having an emotional balance, because you will find that, you know, someone could say something to you and you're just like, oh, hell no. But you can't display that, oh, hell no. You just have to be like, woosa, you know. And, you know, it's one of those things where being a leader is very, very hard. But one thing that I've learned, which my daughter's dad used to say to me all the time, which was, don't get upset over the things you can't control. And like that needed to be applied to me in so many ways, because I'm someone that's very, very organized. So something as little as not being on time irritates me. So if I'm at the train station and the train is not on time and it's making me late, I'm vexed, you know. And he would just say to me, but could you control when the train came? And, you know, you can't answer the question because you're like, no, but then the app said this and da-da-da-da, you know, but you end up getting flustered for no reason. So building up on all these qualities, like that was said, the listening, the balanced emotions, and like everything that everyone says, like it's hard being a leader.
Definitely. Letting go and trusting. Yeah, that's a very good one, Victoria. Thank you. Erica? What qualities do you think you need
to be a leader?
I
think you need to be understanding. You also have to, you know, have a bit of compassion. You have to be on. I already said understanding. And you have to try to, you know. I'm sorry. Could you come back to me?
That's okay. That's okay. We'll go to Lorraine and then come back to you if you want to. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Hi. Yeah, what Victoria said really resonated with me, because I'm so emotional. I feel like that's my biggest weakness as a leader. I take everything personally. If a parent is unhappy, I'm unhappy. If one of my staff is unhappy, I'm unhappy. If one of my staff doesn't respond to my text message, I panic. It's like I am so emotional and it's so draining and so exhausting. So I definitely need to work on my emotional balance. Like I furloughed all my staff and I was allowing them to dictate how they're getting their payments because I didn't want to upset anyone, and it was just getting stupid. So I need to definitely work on my emotional balance. So I just wanted to piggyback off what Victoria was saying.
That's really good. And that kind of reminded me of people pleasing, you know, this wanting to be liked, you know, to the point it's detriment to the business or detriment to your reputation. And when someone's still not pleased or satisfied with the paycheck or with the customer service, you will take it personal because you've done everything within your power to make someone happy and satisfied. But I guess it will come to a point where you'll get tired of it and you will come back to yourself, what you envisioned. And those who don't play ball or those who take advantage of that people-pleasing quality within you, they got to be put in check, you know. And I think that comes with time. When you get tired of it, you know, when enough is enough, you gotta listen, yeah. You can't dictate to me. What have you, or be like, if you want to dictate to me your pay rise, what have you done to deserve it? You know, so you'll get to that point, I think, naturally, because there's so much anybody can take of demands. But I think it's really nice that you've addressed it and you kind of realize it's a weakness. And there's a lot of strength in emotions, because I'll talk about emoting people to buy into your vision. So emotions itself is really powerful when you have a message to say, but having that balance of emotion is going to be super important so you can thrive and not be worn down by people or take things personally, or just be so overwhelmed you get sick, you know. And that's something as leaders we have to have a lot of self-care. We have to look after ourselves. If we can't look after ourselves, we can't manage, we can't lead effectively. So I'm glad that you brought that up to the man. Thank you. Erica, did you want to go back to your point?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys. All right. I will have to say compassionate, understanding yet firm. Like Lauren said, patient, dedicated, you know, willing to put in the hours, able to communicate properly, and being able to be a team player altogether, even though you might have this position, being able to, you know, sometimes if, you know, you're short staffed, stepping in and trying to help out your team as well, so you guys could both finish, you know, the task.
That's it. And can I ask you, when's the last time you could think of you being compassionate in a leadership role? Didn't need to put you in a spot.
Compassionate in a leadership role. Okay. So I deal with the NHS. I work for the NHS. And a lot of times I work for the clinical commissioning side. So we deal with like the funding aspect. And a lot of times we might receive referrals from, you know, the hospitals and things of that sort. So it's like a strict, like, you know, regime what we have to follow. And if something isn't, you know, right, we send it back. But on this one occasion, I was talking to this one lady, and like I fell for her, you know? So instead of, you know, just denying it, I accepted it, and, you know, so yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We don't have to be such hard asses in our leadership role. We can be compassionate too and give
Battery is low. Please recharge in time.
Let me turn this off. That's my speaker. Yeah, it's not about being, you know, a bad beat or a bossy boss. It's just about understanding we're all human beings and just figure out how we tick and how we can support someone or just give someone a bly. You know, if you know they're really good at their job, but they might have one weakness, work with them. So I'm really glad you brought up about compassion. I've got 6 essentials I would say that I found. I did a leadership course last year. It was really powerful, and I really stand by these 6 qualities that we learned that were really good, effective qualities. You'll see it Oprah Winfrey, you see Michelle Obama, you'll see it in good head teachers, you'll see it in good directors. You'll just see these qualities. And the more you study leaders in whatever field you're interested in, you start to see these 6 very key essential qualities and more that's already been mentioned. So clarity. Your vision, your message has to be clear from the get-go. A good leader can communicate effectively their message. They're clear with the orders, if they have to give orders. They're clear with the direction that a company is going in or direction of a team is going in. They're clear about the goals that they have set. They're clear about the values that they live by. And they're clear in their action as an example of how to do things. So clarity is a really big one. If you, as a leader, you're a visionary. So if you're not clear on your vision, people are not going to buy into your vision. I'll talk a bit more about setting your vision, but clarity is definitely key. Decisiveness. As a leader, you gain credibility by your, not only by your credentials, but also by your ability to make decisions, make the tough decisions, because there'll be difficult decisions to be made every single day, especially if you're running a business or a home. There'll be decisions around money, there'll be decisions around employment, there'll be decisions about customers, there'll be decisions about discipline. There's so many decisions as a leader you have to kind of say, you know, I don't like to make these decisions, but I have to. I'm the leader here. I need to make the decision that's going to benefit the community, or benefit the home, or benefit the team or the business. It's so important. We cannot say, oh, leave it to somebody else to make a decision. You can't be a leader and then shy away when you have to make very tough decisions. It's part of the quality of becoming a good leader. If it's a tough decision to fire someone and you try to work with them and you give them appraisals, you give them action plans, and yet they still kind of not getting it, and they're becoming a liability to your business, you have to make that tough decision to have the conversation. So strong decision making skills are necessary, and it's definitely a quality that's needed. I would say courage. Courage to be bold, courage to stand up for what is right, courage to challenge any kind of bigotry, challenging any kind of oppression, challenging things that are not right, challenging the status quo. You need guts. You need guts. If you're going to be an innovative leader, you have to be able to stand up for what is right, what you believe is right. If you're with a company or a business and you're a director or manager and there's something off, there's something wrong, you have to be the voice of reason. And I know it's very difficult, but you need courage. And being bold is a virtue. Not everybody can do it, but everyone can learn it. Passion. Passion is going to drive you through those days when you want to give up, your team is just annoying you, your customers are not giving you the what's it, you haven't got a lot of customers coming through your doors, you're throwing money in, people will tell you, what are you doing? Like, you're making a big risk. What about your kids? Like, have you thought this through? Can't you just keep your 9 to 5? Passion is going to be the thing that drives you through the tough spells, the lack of funding, the lack of belief. Passion, that means doing long hours sometimes. That means making sacrifices at times. That means going the extra mile to really show and demonstrate what you require from your team. Humility. Humility is another time. Like Loren said, sometimes you got to say, hey, I messed up here, and take responsibility for that mess up and say, okay, humbly, can I come to you to find out how I can make this better? You know, if you have a personal bust up with someone, you have to apologize, and you get more respect for that than saying, well, you know what, you're subordinate, bye, be gone, you're fired. But actually being humble at times, including what Debbie was saying, you know, if designers listen to the people on the floor who, with the customers, if they were humble enough, they would take on your feedback, ask for your feedback, and say, okay, we need you guys to be more vocal so we can design products that you're happy to promote and to sell and get us the business that we need. So humility is a big one. And lastly, transparency to your clients, transparency to your customers. That is integrity. When I used to run a charity, I had to be accountable for how I was spending the money. If there's one penny missing, I have to give an account. I can't try and BS someone about how to spend that money. I had to be accountable because people trust you more when they see you as a leader being accountable. Even if no one asks you to be accountable in your business or in your job or in your home or in your friendship or social circle, you be accountable. It will make such a difference how people respect you and see you. And that is one sure way to get your reputation from here all the way here. Being accountable, not only with money, but being accountable to the goals you've set for your project or for your business, living up to the values that's part of that business culture. It's about being accountable to yourself and to your family. If you say to your family, I'm coming home at 6:30 tomorrow for family dinner, and you don't turn up because the business meeting went on until 9 p.m., but you say I'm a family person to your colleagues or to your clientele, they're going to realize that you're not being accountable, you're not being realistic, you're not being responsible. So if you say you're a family-run business, go home to your family and have dinner and take some time off. And then come back and say, sorry, I had to take time off because my family come first. People will respect that. They empathize with that. And they will say, wow, that goes a family-run business. Or that's a family-oriented woman. She is loyal, she's dedicated, she's passionate about her family. I want to do business with her. So being accountable and being transparent is such a big thing. So those are my 6 qualities that I found to be very effective. And I studied different leaders in different fields. Those kind of key ones came up to me. And you've added your own about communication. We talk about empathy, understanding, compassion. So that's awesome. I think if we had all these qualities together, we're on to good things, guys. We're on to good things. We're building our queendom real good.
Can I just add 2
yeah,
things?
please add.
So one thing that's important is boundaries. We need to set boundaries, and along with boundaries, we also need to set the rules. And I think as a leader, it can be really difficult, like Lorraine was saying, in terms of her furloughing staff and getting them to dictate. You know, you have to step in and just make the rules. And sometimes people aren't going to like the rules, but it's all part of leadership. And you tend to find that once you're a good leader and you stick to the rules, like the leading by example, sticking to the rules, people then start to follow and accept and appreciate. And that's where boundaries also come into it, because if you're strong-headed and say, you know, these are the rules and regulations, you can't bypass and so forth, then that's where respect also comes in. And it creates a sense of order. And I think with leadership, like, for example, this Black Lives Matter protesting, it takes one person to lead the flock and then everyone will follow. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's dope. And I think you're very much on the money. Like, if you say you'll do something, you better do it. All eyes on you, boo.
Yeah, no.
To your best ability, you know?
No
That's
pressure,
part of being
right?
responsible and accountable. So that kind of brings me nicely, actually, to my next question. And this is a question for you to all think about and give an answer. The question is, how do you convey your message / vision for your cause / project / business so other people can buy into it, from your team members to your customers or clients? How do you convey your message or vision for your cause, project, or business so other people can buy into it, including teammates and customers or clients?
I'm going to throw myself in there quickly. So for me, selling a vision for me when it comes to the work industry, I create a vision that includes everybody. Now, it's not a people-pleasing situation. It's a vision where you have a workforce and you see the quality of your workforce as a whole. And you create a vision where it includes a piece of everyone so everyone can grow. And those that don't have particular talents are able to pick up those talents. So everyone kind of feels included, as well as if they feel excluded in certain areas, they have the ability to learn. So for me, when I place a vision on the table, I make it clear and concise that my vision is not about the vision for me. It's about a vision for us as a collective. Because the fact of the matter is, without your colleagues, your business ain't nothing. You need a team. You know, no man's an island. So that's where I start to take in, like, is there anyone who wants to change anything? Because at the end of the day, we can create a vision and, you know, try to include everyone, but it doesn't mean that it fits everyone. So having a discussion and getting everyone together to change this, to include that, you know, that works really, really well in terms of spreading the vision. And not only that, is it something that can then reach out to others, and then it strategically can be used amongst masses. So, for example, when I'm putting together business strategies, I take those profiles and I go into many different workplaces and actually use the same profile, because it carries the same ideology at the end of the day, and it takes nothing. So, yeah, that's one of my takes.
No, that's good. Consistency. You know in your market, so you know who you're talking to. So if your vision is clear, it kind of also kind of carves up who are your ideal team members and who are your ideal customers and clients. So that's a really good point you've made. What about you, Debbie? Since you work in retail, you know, selling a vision, selling your brand, presenting, maybe you might have some tips for us. I don't know. You let us know.
I think it has to be, again, it's a matter of teamwork for it to work. Because everyone, you know, you explain what it is you're trying to do, and at the same time you're not trying to say this is how it should be 100%, but you're giving that overall, this is what you would like to happen. And then you're asking for feedback from the team, because obviously all of you are going to be working for the same goal.
That's it.
So there might be the lowest of the lowest not feeling very enthusiastic about themselves. And that might be one way to sort of pull them up to everybody else, you know, and actually give them a voice, so they can then put their vision through that it still enhances what your vision is. So yeah, that's the way I would think it in a big ballpark figure of things.
That's dope. That's really, really dope. And I like that you talk about feedback and letting the team in to kind of help carve out that vision. Everybody understands, so everybody can comply with that goal that you're talking about, achieving that goal. Sorry, I've got a little one in front of me. No. It's your time, not your time. Okay. Anybody else? How do you convey your message? Maybe we'll ask Lorraine, since she's got two after school clubs going. How do you convey your message or your vision to parents or schools or other people that are interested in business?
To be honest with you, I don't think I successfully convey my vision to the parents, but I definitely convey it to the staff. And I agree with what Victoria said. I let them know that this is about everyone, and it's not me. And it's that we're a team, and we're working together collectively to achieve the vision. But one thing I'll definitely say that I do is I don't just say this is what I want to do. Like, I put things in place. Like, I actively work towards the vision that I want for the business and for my staff. So I'll say to them, the club to grow. I want to open lots of other after school clubs so that you guys can have more hours, you can have more opportunities. And I actively make sure that that happens. So I think it's not just about telling them the vision, but it's about actively putting things in place to make sure the vision actually becomes a reality. But from what you guys are saying, I'm learning that maybe I need to convey the vision to the parents more successfully, because my ultimate vision is to have the children experience a home away from home, and I don't think I convey that.
That is well, you just said it.
Yeah,
a home away from home.
I don't convey that, I don't think, successfully, because I didn't see the importance of it. I just saw the importance of sharing the vision with the staff so that they can make sure that they create a home away from home, but I need to let that intention be known to the parents as well. So yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. I'm glad you had like a light bulb moment, and some jigsaw pieces are coming together nicely. Anybody else want to add anything before I go into what I feel is important in conveying a vision or a message? Just want to give the floor to someone. Anyone? Okay, I'm gonna continue. If you got something to add at the end of this bit, Erica, I see your hand go up, girl. Go for it.
Oh, keeping my mic. I would say showing passion, showing that you actually love what you're doing, because if people can see that you're passionate about it, then they'll believe in you, believe in your organization, your cause, because you're showing them that you're all into it.
That's it. Passion, like I said, is going to take you a long way. And so thank you very much, Erica. I would say how you convey your vision or message of whatever it is, your cause, your project, your business, how you can get people to buy into that vision or message from your team members all the way down to your clientele. The first step is to take them on a journey through storytelling visually. So that's using social media, ads, or writing articles, or a blog, or starting a YouTube channel with your videos. It's about taking someone from point A to point B, whatever that point B is. If it's a home away from home, after school club, take them through the vision. What made you start that business? What is the heart? What is the passion of you doing this day in and day out? It's about showing people the why you care and why they should care. I think it's really important to take someone on a journey from the beginning to the end of your business. If they're a team member and their client, and also selling the vision for products as well, for services that you have. So it's about giving them a story that they can buy into, that they can see themselves in. And obviously, ultimately, they can trust you as a storyteller. So if you're impersonal with your business, with your projects, with your cause or charity, people are not going to buy into it because no one trusts it. We're human beings still. We're still very sociable creatures. So it's about, this is my story. This is why I'm doing what I do. This is how I do it. And this is why I need you to be on board, because I see the skills in you. And like what Loren and Victoria said, it's not about me, it's about us making a change, whatever that is. And then for the clients, it's like, I want to take in the journey of how you're going to enjoy this product, how it's going to change your life, how the service is going to improve whatever it's supposed to improve in. So it's really about taking a journey, taking your client or staff member on that journey, and as visual as possible. So that's your social media. Your message should be clear on your social media. It should be clear on your websites. It should be clear on your t-shirt, your logo. It should be clear on your marketing material. Whatever that message is, it's got to be consistent and visual. It's also about evoking emotions. So this is where we talk about emotions early on, Loren. This is where emotions can be very powerful. Again, it's not about being personal with your message, but your message should invoke something. We give an example about Victoria said, Black Lives Matter. That evokes all kinds of emotions. What do you call it? McDonald's, I'm loving it. Family restaurant. It's all about the emotion that you can evoke behind your brand, behind your message. So if someone reads your message, reads your brand, and there's no expression on their face, you need to rethink how you're packaging your message. So emotions are very, very important, very powerful to get people to buy into your product, to buy into your employment, to buy into your company. If someone feel like, oh, I really love what Loren is doing, I really love her vision about this, making this more than an after school club, making it home, that person's going to run the extra mile to make sure that vision is kept, because they're so emotionally invested in making sure this goal is met. So that's definitely important, how you convey your message. Motivation. What are you doing to motivate people when they're doing well, or when they're not doing so well? What are your motivations you put in place as a leader? Do you have like a sales board? Do you have like a leadership board? Do you have appraisals? Do you have employee of the week? What is it have you got in place to motivate people? Do you even know how to motivate people? Do you know what motivates your team members or motivate your clients to keep coming back again and again in that business? And that's all part about how you convey your message. Give demonstrations of your message. If you're talking about a product or a service, give them a taster session or give them a taster product, or have visual aid when you're talking to investors or talking to stakeholders. These are really key things that we kind of neglect. We kind of hope people just get the vision, but we need to put in the work to really get them on board. Be flexible, not with your message, but how you execute that message. That's where you have to be open as a leader to take on criticism, take on feedback, take on the negative comments you might get from customers or your staff members about how you're delivering the message. And so if you can get them to buy into it that way, to give you feedback, to have a focus group, they are going to be your greatest ambassadors. They're going to be your greatest influencers in how you execute your products or your services. I would say staying accountable and constant and consistent in your communication. If you have a newsletter, you should be having a newsletter come out every single month, every single Monday at 9 a.m. If you have a social media, your social media should be consistent with your message and consistently coming out. If it's every Tuesday, if it's every Friday, if it's every day at 10 o'clock a.m., you got to be consistent. That's all part of conveying your message. So those are the things I just want to share with you regarding how to convey your vision and your message to not only your teammates, but to your customers and stakeholders. Anything to add? Did I miss anything?
I'd say also it's about discovery, taking the leap that most people don't do. When you create a vision is a new discovery in its sense. So as a leader, you're taking steps that most people, should I not, should we do this collective, should we not? But with vision, anything is possible. So as well as you taking the leap of faith discovering, you're collectively getting your workforce or your team or your friends, whatever it, the relationship is, to also discover with you. And these discoveries create new platforms. Hence where, like, for example, we've had coronavirus. Everyone has literally had to try and transfer their business into it becoming digitalized. Whereas before these things were kind of spoken about, but most platforms were like, well, no, we prefer face-to-face and this and that. And they've now had to find that, we have to make these things digitalized. So just these simple discoveries actually create new platforms, which also rejuvenates the old systems, and it replenishes and feeds back into things, creating new structures.
110%. And it should be fun. Your message should have some kind of happy, positive, come back for more good vibes, emotion to it, quality, that emotional quality. I think that also better than pour us, give us your money. More of that good quality, happy feeling is also a stronger motivator than the negative. And discovering how you do that could be part of the bonding process between you and your teammates, definitely. So I want to take it back to everyone in the room. How do I say this? What challenges do you feel you face as a leader? And what innovative ways can we solve those challenges? So have a second or two to think about challenges you have had in your leadership role. It could be in your home, it could be in your community, in the place of worship, at your workplace, in the boardroom. What challenge or what challenges do you feel you have faced as a leader, especially as a female leader even? And what innovative ways can we help solve those problems as a collective?
okay, I'm gonna throw myself in there again. I'd say
Okay.
one of the biggest things, and I can't stand it, is most people feel that I'm not a human being and they don't give me time to recharge. Everything, like, they come to me for the answers constantly. And I don't mind it, but I'm not Ask Google.
You're
You
cutting out
know?
a little bit there.
And it's like,
Can everyone hear Victoria clearly? Okay, says Victoria's signal. Victoria? Oh, she'll come back. Hopefully. Victoria, you back?
from there, don't know what happened there.
Hello, hello.
Reconnecting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Awesome. What were you saying? The last bit about you not being treated as human?
Yeah. It's like everyone expects me to be on job 24/7, you know? Like, I literally, just a normal day for me, I go to sleep, I wake up to the phone. I can't wake up to the birds chirping outside. I wake up to an immediate need of somebody, you know, and pretty much that carries on throughout the day. And it becomes very, very draining. And then the moment that you're just like, do you know what, I don't know, not today, everyone gets really upset or they feel let down and so forth. And you have to take that minute to just recharge and just kind of let everyone know that, you know what, I do have these amazing qualities, don't get me wrong, but I need to kind of put these amazing qualities into myself. And right now, I have to selfishly take that time, which is difficult because when you hear someone has an issue, you know, you're kind of just like, well, maybe I help this person. And then that person turns into another person because of the empathy. But we have to learn that we need to just it's not being selfish, but we have to just take time to just say, do you know what, today is about me, you know. And I think personally, that's why I personally feel really run down and ill today, to be fair, because it does start to catch up with you.
So what I'm hearing is self-care.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big one, especially for women. We're not very good at taking care of ourselves. We're busy taking care of our colleagues, taking care of our family, taking care of our partners, taking care of our elders, taking care of other children in the community, and we haven't got time to kind of recharge. And I was saying to one of my clients the other day is you can't give anybody anything to drink unless your glass is full. You know, so self-care looks like turning off your phone. I take off social media ever so often, honey, and I come back rejuvenated. I have new ideas. I come back feeling stronger than ever. Self-care, it can look like having a long bubble bath. Self-care looks like boundaries. If you say your working hours are between this and this, do not pick up your phone. To answer calls, questions, texts, messages, WhatsApp messages, emails after that time you have said that, you know, my working hour finishes. If you have demanding clients, you have to value yourself enough to say, I cannot work those extra hours, I cannot work those days because I need to recharge so I can be at my best to serve you, at my best to give you the results that you want. It's so important. Self-care looks like eating healthily, sleeping more than 5 hours a night. Self-care looks like painting your nails, painting your toenails. Self-care looks like walking out into the garden or into a park and sitting still for 15 minutes. Self-care looks like a lunch where you go outside and have your lunch, not in the office. Self-care doesn't have to be a spa weekend away with the girlfriends. Self-care can happen at any time, anywhere. It's up to you. And self-care is a choice. You choose if you have self-care. You choose how long you disengage from the world, disengage from work, so that you can be the best person that you can be when it's time to go back into that environment. And if you can give yourself self-care, that will signal to other people and give them permission to look after themselves. And in that way, you are really getting the most out of your assets. Assets being your laborers, being your team members, being your volunteers. Don't be afraid to take time out. So I just want to stress that to you, because I think all of us has been there when we're burnt out. We get to the point where we're irritated, where we look at our phone, we're gonna dash the phone across the room. We feel like we're split into two between this and that. We feel like we're about to cry. We're doing long hours. We're feeling so alone. We feel so broken because you just take on too much. And like you said, Victoria, people think you're a robot. Show them that you're not a robot. Show them that you're a human being, that you need time with your family. You need time to enjoy the home that you're trying to build while working 20 hours a day. So never be apologetic about it. I'm very militant about self-care. I take my time off. People know they can't get to me on social media. If I put up, I'm not on social media for 2 weeks, they ain't gonna see me for 2 weeks. That's okay.
It's hard because I'm like,
you have to be militant about self-care.
it's the whole, I'm a multitasker by nature. So that stimulus, like I can't sit down for too long. I have to be doing something. So then this is where this stuff starts to creep in, and it's so easy to start neglecting the self-care.
That's the thing, do something you employ when you're working in the leadership role. Do it for looking after yourself. So if you have to be doing things, okay, go and do some gardening. That's self-care.
Yeah.
Go with your family and friends. If you're into your scheduling, schedule your self-care into your weekly routine.
Yeah.
The same thing here, you just divert them to yourself. Thank you very much, Victoria. Anybody else? What challenges do you face as a leader? I want to hear from everyone.
Well, I think I addressed mine earlier on about being too emotional, taking things too personally, thinking that everything is a reflection on me and on that my efforts that I've made. And I think that's because I'm very much a baby in my field. I didn't study business. I've never had a business. With teaching, I was incredibly confident. I was assertive. I knew who I was. I know what my capabilities were. So I wasn't as desperate for affirmation. So I think the reason why I feel the way I feel is because I'm still navigating this new world. So everything is personal, everything is sensitive. But I think that as time goes on, that same confidence that I developed as a teacher, I will also develop as a businesswoman. So I'm not too worried about it.
That's
and
good.
What's going on now, I can already see how much I've grown. But I still have a very long way to go, because if I get a text message from a staff member or a parent or something and somebody's not happy, that's my heart just starts beating. I start panicking. I do. But as I said, I think as time goes on, I will be able to overcome that.
Thank you. And you said something quite poignant. I don't know if you heard it, but you said you're seeking affirmation. So why not give yourself affirmations instead? Have 5 to 10 affirmations where you get ready for work or at your work desk or up and about in your work environment. You know, something like, I am enough. Just find affirmation that resonate with you regarding the insecurities, the feeling, the need to be affirmed, and affirm yourself. If it's Bible verses to put up, be of good courage, and do not have fear, for I am always with you. Do what you have to do to affirm yourself, because it's very dangerous when we seek affirmation from other people. It can totally knock us off our feet, out of our vision, out of our leadership, and we get caught up in this webs of trying to please other people. So I would say, you said it, seek affirmation, to give yourself affirmations. Let this become your mantras, 5 to 10. Stick them up at home, stick them up in your car, in the rear view, also the fold down mirror part of the car.
I'm gonna get a pen to take notes.
That's okay. You can always come back to this recording. It will be available in a couple of days. But affirmation is going to be your strong point. Anywhere you communicate love or feel loved, do it for yourself. You know, if it's talking to yourself in the mirror and say, girl, you got this. You got this. Take 3 deep breaths. Before you open your phone, take some deep breaths, cleansing breaths, and just give yourself affirmation. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then you open up your phone and you deal with whatever's in front of you. Everyone should have affirmations. Everyone on this call, everyone that's not on this call. Affirmations are your best friends. Affirm who you are, affirm why you're doing what you're doing, and affirm that you are good enough. No one here is an imposter. No one here is a failure. No one here is a loser. So affirm those positive things that's going to get you through the day. Believe in yourself. Believe that you're good enough. Because you are. Thank you very much, Lorraine.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Another thing that sometimes I struggle with as well is the race situation. Like sometimes you wonder if your business would be more successful, or if you'd be getting further, or if you'd have more respect or more customers if you weren't Black. And I think that brings about a paranoia as well.
Yeah, I feel it all the time. Mm-hmm.
Am I losing customers? Am I not gaining customers because of my race? And that's another issue that I deal with as well, which I know that comes from my own paranoia rather than the reality.
Mm-hmm.
When we had to close because of the obviously the pandemic, the support and the love and the warmth that I received was so unexpected, and it kind of quenched that whole paranoia that I had about the success or lack of success of my business being about my race.
Yeah.
Sometimes the issues that we have, they will get resolved anyway. We will see for ourselves that it's not what we think that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another.
No, I think that's. Even this week, I was thinking the same thing. You know, people's like, oh, you know, I've had white colleagues come up to me like, oh, I love that you're doing stuff for the Black community. I was like, it's for every woman. But because I'm presenting the information, it's a Black thing. When I've clearly said this is inclusive. Doesn't matter what background you're in. But as soon as they see my name attached to it, they don't. I'm to be honest here. They don't really necessarily support it. But when I'm passing on another colleague's information that they're doing something in the community, same female business owners, or same moms, or same women in mental health, it's a different response when they know it's not a Black person, it's a white person. I passed on the details to, hey, check out, they're on the call, they're promoting, you're seeing in the stories, they're getting tagged. I'm like, just because I'm Black doesn't mean my business is exclusively Black. Unless I've stated it's exclusively Black, it's quite ignorant for that assumption to take place, and it can become a barrier. But all I can do is just try to demonstrate, keyword demonstrate, inclusivity. I'm inclusive of people with different abilities. I'm inclusive of all backgrounds, all socioeconomic classes, all orientation. I'm inclusive. That's all I can stress. And if someone wants to project, that's their business. I made it clear. My message is I'm inclusive because my skills is not bounded by a color. My skills can help anybody. It can heal anyone. It can push anyone. And sometimes we just got to leave that stuff, that uncomfortable stuff that belongs to other people, and just keep trying to let your work do the talking for you. Thank you very much, Lorraine. Debbie, Erica?
I say personally, I've got 2 points. Not feeling enough, and you want to sort of start something, but you're thinking good enough to then start it, and you get self-doubt. So yeah, that for me is a huge challenge, and it's trying become that. But that from what I need to do is just the to really motivate myself to know that, well, actually here is fine, to push the to do what you need to do.
Okay, there's a bit of interference there, but let me see if I got what you said. So you have 2 points.
Yeah.
First one was to do with feeling you're not good enough. Is that correct? And the second one to do with self-doubt. To start something.
Yes. Or being a perfectionist.
Okay, being a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, let's deal with the first one, not feeling good enough. I'm gonna put on my psychologist hat for a hot second. That belief system of that we're not good enough, especially women and women of color, it comes from other people's stories about us that we have internalized from the time we are young. And it comes up in different ways. We feel like we're imposters. We feel like we don't belong in the boardroom. We stop ourselves at a certain level because we feel that no one's going to take you seriously, or no one's going to hire you with your natural hair. No one's going to want you to lead them. They think that you're ignorant. And a lot of these things actually come from what we've internalized a lot. And I would say, look at where those voices are coming from. What stories are they telling you? And then look in your life where you can disprove those stories. So, for example, if you've always been told you're useless, and you grow up and you feel useless, guess what? You're not going to want to, you might want to elevate yourself, but you'll attract certain things in your life that will reflect that you're somewhat useless. You might have a partner that's abusive and say, oh, you're useless. What are you good for? You have no brain, just stupid. And then you take all that in from the childhood, your significant relationships, and now you think about starting a business, and you're like, but I'm useless. Like, who's gonna listen to me? I'm stupid. I have no degree. I have no. And those are the questions you need to kind of challenge. So those are the voices you need to challenge, because they are not your voices. That is not your story. That's someone else's problem. So it's about deciphering what's your story versus what was told to you, what was pushed on you in relationships and in your younger years as to why you feel you're not good enough. And then what you do is you look at parts of your life where you've achieved things, great and small, and you stack them up as evidence. I'm useless. Okay, let's look at that. My life has shown me I've got my degree. I didn't have money, but I went and worked. And I worked 2 jobs, was very good at my 2 jobs. I left with my honors. I gained some work experience. What else? I'm useless. I've been loved by my children. I am their world. These are the things that we have to use as evidence against someone else's story, because it's false. Ultimately, it's to show you that story that you've been internalizing for all those decades, all those years, is a false narrative. The second point about perfectionism, again, you've been told as a child, if you don't do it like this, you're getting beat. You only told you're a good person when you do something a way that was demonstrated for you, that was demanded of you. And therefore you start to internalize this and demand this of yourself. And so the same story goes. What the what if, I have this what if I do with my women's group, the what if game. So you have a scenario of, I want to open my business, it's going to be perfect, I'm going to have 1,000 new customers every day, this kind of very strong ideal. And then you put, what if you don't get 1,000 customers? What if you only get 10 customers? Okay, I can work with 10 customers. Maybe I need to kind of hike up my prices a little bit. Okay, what if no one likes your product? Okay, I have to get a focus group in, test out my product, see if they like it. If they don't like 50% of my products, is only 50% of my products I'm going to put out there to be sold. So you have to ask yourself, what if? It's like being your own devil's advocate, and that will kind of helps you kind of break down this kind of idealism that perfectionists have. That has to be done a certain way. If it's not, my world comes to an end. What if your business doesn't succeed in the first 3-6 months? Is the world coming to an end? No. You just have to go back to the drawing boards and rethink, do more research. So play that what if game with yourself once in a while.
Yeah.
And it kind of just brings you back down to more of a balance and put things in place. So if something does go wrong, not the end of the world. You're not going to go to anxiety. You're not getting into your depression. You're just going to say, okay, I'll get to my what if plan. And that's for everything in life. What if he doesn't ask me out on a second date? Okay, oh well, move on to the next one. The what if game is great for anxiety. It's great for perfectionism. It's just a great tool to have, just to kind of dismantle yourself from walking off a ledge.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Erica?
I'm here. Okay. So for the question you asked, I would say taking on too much. Especially if I have like senior management ask me to do a task or something. A lot of times I'll just say yes. You don't want to say no because you don't want to, seem like you're not that, employee who's going to take the responsibility, especially with your role. And then you find out that you've bitten more than you could chew because you have so many multiple projects that you have to work on, and you already agreed. So you end up, spending weekends and late nights trying to do something, whereas you could have just, maybe thought, so yeah, that's my biggest flaw when it comes to like a leadership.
It's saying no. Boundaries. What I'm hearing is you're afraid to assert boundaries. Some like you have boundaries or ideas of what a good working life would be for you, and those include boundaries, but not necessarily the execution of boundaries. And it's a big problem, especially for women of color. We've always got to outdo everybody. We've always got to outshine. We have to work 100 times harder than our counterparts just to get recognition, and just for someone to say well done, And boundaries become blurred. You take on too much. I think in this case, boundaries about self-love. So the question that I would ask you to ask yourself when you're facing these situations of where you have to assert your boundaries is, how much do I love myself? Because boundaries are all about self-love. How much do I love myself to say no? Because I know I'm going to get sick if I keep doing extra shifts. How much do I love myself to say no until you pay me extra money? Boundaries is all about protecting your asset. You are your biggest asset. You got to love that asset. You got to let it grow. You got to give it time. You can't do that if you're working for someone else all the time. It cannot work. In the day, when all is said and done, you only allow people to treat you how they treat you. So you got to say, how much do I love myself to say no to this situation? And I think it helps kind of shift the perspective of I have to. No, you have to love yourself. You have to move your boundaries to make someone else happy. You got to keep your boundary in check to keep yourself happy. So when your boss asks you, oh, hey, Erica, do you mind staying a bit late? Because literally had the conversation in your head, how much do I love myself to stay here another 5 hours, another 4 hours, another 3 hours? I love myself too much to stay here. Sorry, boss, I would love to, but I have so much to do for myself. I see you tomorrow. That's you loving yourself enough to protect yourself, to nurture yourself, to say no, to be assertive without being rude or coming across aggressive, especially when you're a Black woman. You got to fight for yourself, and your health is your wealth. Your happiness, your mental well-being is too important for other people to tell you to move the boundary. The world has to sometimes bow to you. It's not always about you bowing to the world. So ask yourself, how much do I love myself? And if you love yourself hell of a lot at that time, say hell no. See you Monday, okay? So I don't know if is that helpful to you? Does that resonate with you in any way?
Yeah, and I actually I had started doing that, learning how to say no. You know, so I know like a couple.
And practice in the mirror.
Yeah.
Practice your stance, your tone. How you gonna say it? No, sorry, I can't help you. Not today. I don't know the answer. Ask Carol from HR. You know, practice these things.
They'll be like, what?
Ask Carol HR. She might know.
Like, hi, Erica, can I have a chat with you outside, please? I'm like, let's do it.
Listen, what I believe is what's for you is for you. You don't have to kill yourself to prove anything to anyone. Just let your work do the talking.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Thank you so much, ladies. It's already 9 o'clock. I don't know where the time went. Goodness, I have 2 more things to put in there. So maybe write down these 2 questions. I'll give you these 2 questions. I'll give you a second to get your pen and paper. I want you to reflect on these 2 things because it's so important as part of being a good leader. And it's all about checking yourself. Checking yourself. It's not always about checking other people. It's also about checking yourself. So the first question I have for you to reflect on, and maybe write something, you can share it with me in an email, WhatsApp, I'm cool with it. The first question is, how do you deal with criticisms? How do you deal with criticisms? Yeah. Because that would say a lot of how open you are to let other people in as co-creators of a service, of a product or experience. How you take criticism. If you take it too personal, how can you depersonalize these criticisms? If you take criticism that goes in one ear and out the other, how can you truly listen? How can you truly act upon these criticisms? Most people want to give you constructive criticisms, but we just hear the criticism. We don't hear the constructive part. We just hear the criticisms and we get in our high horse. So how do you deal with criticisms? And if you are honest and you say, I do not deal with it well, there are ways you can deal with it. You can Google how to deal with it. There's exercises out there to help you accept criticism and to use it as a strength. You can speak to me afterwards. I am more than happy to share some insights on that. The second question, how do you measure your performance? How do you measure your performance, your impact, your sales? How do you show the results, the outcome of the goal that you and your team are working together on? Are there questionnaires, surveys you give to customers or team members? Are there sales? Are you keeping record of engagement on social media? Are you getting feedback from your own colleagues, from customers about your brand, about you as a leader? So how do you measure your own performance? That's so important because those are your receipts, honey. Those are your receipts for your leadership. That will tell you everything you need to know. Numbers do not lie. So do think about how you're going to measure your performance, not only for yourself, but also for your company, charity, or organization. Oh, we've come to the end. We have 2 more things before the aftercare. Are you okay to give me 10 more minutes of your lives?
I have to run. I have a family thing that I do every Thursday.
I've got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, before you go, we're gonna do the checkout. We won't get to do meditation. We'll do a quick checkout, and then we'll do the last song, and people can log off as they're dancing away. Is that okay? So DJ, start getting the level up. We'll be done in the next 7 minutes. Do the level up. Get that ready for us in the background. In the meantime, the checkout question is, in a few words, tell me what you're going to take away from today's session to help you become a better leader. Just a few words.
Okay. I am going to make affirmations each day to remind myself of my achievements and my abilities and my faith in Christ. I'm going to make sure that my vision is clear to parents and potential parents by creating a website. I am going to have a parent newsletter so I can convey information more clearly about what's happening. Have more parent involvement by doing surveys. I'm going to remind myself of evidence to show that I am good enough. And when I am trying to be a perfectionist, I'm going to do what if?
What if, honey? That is awesome, Lorraine. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's a lot of richness your way now that you can utilize for your betterment. So I'm happy. You can always let me know how it goes. I'm always personally invested in every woman that I connect with, professionally or personally. So you can let me know how those new rich resources work out for you. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm gonna do the whole self-care thing.
I like
Self-care, I'm hearing. Thank you, Victoria. Debbie, sorry, you were saying something?
health. Yeah, you're well. So it's trying to translate that into something more meaningful.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Erica?
I would say keep remembering to say no if I can't take on a project. And be honest. And as you stated before, showing, that quality that will make people, believe in what you're doing and stuff like that.
Definitely. I believe you all have great leadership qualities. I believe that you want to be the best leader that you can be. Otherwise, you would not be in this call. So I already congratulate you on being a fire leader, like just taking the world by storm, whatever area you're leading in, if it's in your home or if it's on the world stage. There's spaces for us being made, and we're making spaces. So take up the leadership role where possible. Do not back down. Do not back down from that challenge. All rise to it to evolve. So on that note, we're gonna level up. So you've got DJ E. Just feel free to bust this for the next 2-3 minutes. Just dance your cares away. Dance like no one watching. And if you know the dance, do the dance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey. Level up. Hey. Cut out, DJ. Cut out.
Oops. Rewind.
So yummy, you want this yummy all the time. Our sound so level, on another level, elevate your level, graduate your level. There's no one on it, nah. Our sound so level, on another level, elevate your level.
That's good. I see you doing the moves. Go, Erica.
Oh, it sounds so yummy. Now you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. Oh, it sounds so yummy. Oh, it sounds so yummy. Now you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy.
Yes, my girl. Go Victoria.
I want to hear
Thank
it
you
again.
so much. Thank you, everyone.
3, 2, 1.
So, bye for now. We'll meet again in 2 weeks' time. I will let you know what that's about. I want to keep a little secret. Is it okay? Keep a little secret? It's going to be juicy. It's going to be juicy. So, see you in 2 weeks' time. Tell a friend to jump on this call because this is rich information that we all can benefit from and flourish with. Much love. Thank you, DJ E.